We're in Willisburg, Kentucky at my taxidermy studio, Kentucky Strut Taxidermy. I've been mounting turkeys about 17 years. That's all I do in the way of taxidermy is turkeys. This one I won People's Choice with at the National Wild Turkey Federation competition. And years ago, back in the mid-90s, I used to compete a whole lot. And I won like Best of Show, I think maybe 3 times. I won People's Choice, which to me, that's the most prestigious. I guess there's been every kind of decoy ever known to man that's been made by somebody, been manufactured by someone. But mounted decoys are something that's fairly new right now. The way that ideal came to me was back several years ago. I mounted 2 turkeys for Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, and took them to him in Florida. If you've seen Celebrity Cribs on TV, you'll see that. It's there on his entertainment center.
If you look at this turkey and look at that bobcat, I go to the taxidermy shop and I see him and I buy him. And that's how I got that turkey.
Just because it looks pretty.
They really look nice, and he had another mounted bird there that didn't look so good, and he just threw it outside. And his buddy got it off the porch of the cabin and took it out and set it up, and sure enough, the next morning had a turkey to run in, and he's the first guy I've known to use one, had a turkey to run in, jump on it, try to whip it, and he killed that turkey. Well, Joe was not a turkey hunter. Well, the next morning, he goes out there and does the same thing again. Well, the next thing you know, Joe was taking everybody in camp, he was taking them turkey hunting, and they were all being successful. And it's the most lethal thing I've ever seen in turkey hunting. He'd fold up and come running right to it. If you're trying to get a turkey for a kid or something like that, they work really well. They also work good for bow hunters because they hold the bird in there longer. I mean, if he sees him 3 football fields away, he's coming. I mean, he's coming wide open. And the closer they get to it, the better it looks. 3/16 steel rods coming down out of the legs. We don't spend as much time grooming on these, so they're quite a bit cheaper than a regular mount. Well, I haven't seen it fail yet. Yeah, I'm sure maybe someday it will, but I haven't seen it fail yet. It's amazing. I think one of the finest sights I've ever seen in my life is a hunter walking out of the woods in camo with a turkey on his back. I always carry some paper towel in my hunting vest, always, because you never know it's kind of like catching the big fish. You never know when that super trophy bird is going to walk up. He may be a 2-year-old and he may be a 5 or 6-year-old, you never know. So I kind of go prepared. The first thing I try to do is get to my bird as quick as I can. Don't ever hold him down on the ground when he's trying to flop. Don't ever do that because it dislodges feathers. It's one of the worst things you can do. Just let him flop. I would advise you to take your pictures first, because as a little time goes on, the turkey will start to stiffen up and it won't pose as good for you. You're going to tote him out like in a tote bag, or if you're going to put him in your hunting vest, which I use a vest, then I wrap his head up in paper towel that keeps the blood off of the feathers. The very best way to take care of a bird, the very best way, and I get a few in every year that way, I'll get 8 or 10 in that has the head wrapped in paper towels and stuffed down in a pantyhose, in the leg of a pantyhose. And that smooths all the feathers back, everything is locked in, nothing ever moves. Yeah, if you want to run out and show them a couple of your buddies or something, you got plenty of time to do that. Put it down in a garbage bag, maybe a double bag, and lay it in the freezer. I don't like to leave much over a year in the freezer because the feet will freezer burn if you're not careful. You should already have your pre-season shopping done for your taxidermist. I would advise that, know ahead of time where you're going to take it, what his policy is, ask to see his work. If he's good at what he does, he'll be glad to show it to you. You take the turkey tail feather off. These are what we call the secondary feathers. In front of that, you just take a knife, cut it off here. In the back, the same way, cut down this way. And there's a bone in there, just pop that right out. Well, then you have to clean all this cartilage, the red meat and the grease and all that, use borax, 20 mule team borax, sprinkle on it, it'll dry it up and you scrape it all out and the quills will be exposed. Then you take Bondo, which you can get at a auto parts house or Walmart. Just take a little Bondo and put in there, and that way it stays. Some folks don't do that, they salt them, but if you want to do it and not ever have any bug problems, and it'll always be like that, it'll never move, that's what you want to do, use Bondo. And your beard, same thing, pop the beard out there, take a knife, cut it off, trim the excess off of it, use a little borax on it, and then you've got your beard.